When was the last time you said no without explaining yourself? Take a second. An actual no. No excuse attached, no apology. And the overthinking that follows every yes you didn't mean, the replaying, the rehearsing, the wondering whether they noticed, is the real bill for it. If you can't remember, this video is for you. Because everyone calls you kind, thoughtful, so easygoing, and some of that is real. But here's the difference nobody's shown you how to check. Kindness is a choice you make freely. What you're doing, at least some of the time, is something else wearing kindness's clothes just to keep people happy. It's fear. And there's a specific way to tell them apart because they feel different in your body. By the end of this video, you'll know the difference and what to do with it. See if this is familiar. Someone asks you for a favor and your yes is out of your mouth before you've even checked whether you can do it. The yes is a reflex. The regret arrives about an hour later. You replay tiny interactions, scanning for signs you upset someone. A colleague was a bit quiet today. Your brain has opened an investigation. You apologize when someone else bumps into you. You apologize before asking questions. And the private one. You've noticed that you don't actually know what you want in a lot of situations. Not because you're indecisive, because somewhere along the way, your wants stopped being the point. You got so good at reading the room that you forgot you were in it. There's a reason for all of it, and it's kinder than you think. So here's today's question. Why do you say yes when you mean no? And how do you tell the difference between being genuinely kind and being afraid? Short version. People-pleasing isn't a personality. It's a safety strategy. Somewhere, usually early, your nervous system learned that keeping other people happy was how you stayed safe, accepted, loved. Kindness gives from choice and costs you little. Pleasing gives from fear and quietly bills you for everything. The test is simple, and it's not in your head. It's in your body. We'll get to it, plus 3 tools for choosing your yes instead of reflexing it. Let's take these 2 things apart properly, because from the outside they look identical. Same smile, same yes, same helpfulness. The difference is entirely in what's driving it. Kindness moves towards someone. You see a need, you have something to give, you choose to give it. Afterwards you feel on balance. Fine. Pleasing moves away from something, away from disappointment on someone's face, away from conflict, tension, the possibility of being disliked. The giving isn't really for them, it's for the threat. Afterwards, there's that specific flavor of exhaustion, and sometimes a low hum of resentment you feel guilty about. You may have heard this called the Fawn response. To be honest with you, that's a label coined by a therapist called Pete Walker. Useful shorthand, not a clinical category from the research literature. The science underneath it is real, and it's this. Appeasement is a genuine threat response. When fight, flight, or freeze aren't options, especially for a child in a home where moods had to be managed, keeping the powerful people happy is a brilliant survival strategy. Some people learned it so early and practiced it so long that it stopped feeling like a strategy and started feeling like a personality. What I've found over the years is that the most chronic pleasers are often the most perceptive people in the room. They didn't fail to develop boundaries. They succeeded spectacularly at a skill that once kept them safe. It's just still running in rooms where the danger is gone. For a long time, everyone talked about stress as fight or flight and left it there. Then in 2000, a psychologist at UCLA called Shelley Taylor pointed out that the picture was incomplete. Her research described another stress response she called tend and befriend. Under threat, humans, and in her analysis particularly women, often respond by nurturing and building alliances, because for most of our history, social bonds were the survival resource. Affiliation under stress isn't weakness, it's wiring. But wiring can be pushed too far. A researcher at Carnegie Mellon called Vicki Helgeson has spent years studying a pattern she calls unmitigated communion, focusing on others' needs to the exclusion of your own. And her findings are the part you need to hear. It doesn't just predict exhaustion. It's linked to more anxiety, more depression, and worse self-care. Helping others is good for you. Helping others instead of existing yourself is not. So here's the body test I promised. After you give someone a yes, check the after feeling. Kindness tends to leave you warm, or at least neutral. Fear-driven pleasing leaves a signature, tightness, heaviness, that inward flinch of, why did I say that? Your body files an honest report every time. You've just been trained to ignore it. This is not a character flaw. It's a highly practiced safety pattern, and it can be retrained. 3 tools. The first one is the smallest, and it's the one everything else depends on. Reset 1. The pause before. Yes. What it is, putting one breath of space between the request and your answer, because the reflex yes lives in that gap. How to use it. Pick a holding phrase now, in advance, so it's loaded when you need it. Let me check and get back to you. Can I confirm tomorrow? Even, 1 sec buys you 3 seconds. Then, in the pause, one question. If there were no consequences to saying no, what would I want to say? You don't have to obey the answer yet. You just have to hear it. Why it works. The pleasing yes is fast because it's a threat response, and threat responses beat conscious choice to the finish line every time. You can't out-argue a reflex mid-fire, but you can slow the moment down until choosing becomes possible again. The pause isn't rude. Reliable people check their diaries. But a pause only helps if you know what you're checking for. Which brings us to the fear test itself. Reset 2. The fear check. In the pause, ask the one question that separates the two lookalikes. If I say yes, what am I saying yes for? Am I moving towards this person or away from something? Be concrete about the away from their disappointment, away from an awkward silence, away from being thought of as difficult. If the honest driver is avoiding a feeling rather than offering a gift, you've caught the pattern in the act. And notice your body while you ask, because it votes first. The warm openness of a real yes feels different from the braced tightness of a fear yes. If you can feel that difference reading this, that's the signal we're working with. Here's the part that matters. Catching a fear. Yes doesn't mean you must say no. Sometimes you'll choose yes anyway, and that's fine. The goal isn't fewer yeses, it's 0 unconscious ones. A yes you chose with your eyes open doesn't leave the residue. It's the reflex that bills you. Now, knowing all this, one problem remains. Your nervous system still believes no is dangerous, and beliefs like that don't update through insight. They update through evidence. That's the third tool. Reset 3. The tiny number. What it is, deliberately practicing small, low-stakes no's to teach your nervous system, through experience, that no is survivable. Start genuinely tiny. No thanks. A colleague suggests a time that doesn't suit. That one's tricky. Could we do 2 o'clock? No's with almost nothing riding on them. Then watch what happens afterwards. That's the actual exercise. The other person, almost every time, simply carries on. No wound, no rupture, no cooling. Your nervous system predicted a cost, and reality declined to charge it. Do that 20 times and you've filed 20 pieces of evidence against a belief that words alone were never going to shift. Why it works? This is how any threat prediction gets updated, through safe, repeated, real-world disconfirmation. You're not becoming less kind. You're rebuilding the choice that fear took away. And people with a real no, it turns out, have a yes that finally means something. So, you were never weak, and the warmth in you was never fake. You're someone whose nervous system learned, probably very young, that other people's comfort was the price of your safety. That was true once. It isn't now. Pause before the yes, check what's driving, and let the tiny no's teach your body what your mind already knows. You're allowed to be in the room too. And the overthinking quietens with it, because there's no longer a yes you have to keep justifying to yourself. Next time, anxiety, but not the version in your head, the version in your body, the tight chest, the churning stomach, the wired and tired exhaustion, and what it actually is. If you've ever said, I can't relax, that one's yours. If this felt like something you needed to hear, the next one will too. Subscribe so it finds you. I'll see you there.